Yes, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. We are here. It has been a wild week in the world of sports, a lot going on. We are here to recap it. We are running a three-man weave. You know I'm not alone. All the way from Speak On It Studios, Podcast Poppy is in the building.
We are coming to you live from the Speak On It Studios newsroom, where there's the last 3 days, the last 72 hours has been nothing but breaking news, and we're here to speak on
I see what you did there.
it.
And live from his domain, Breezy is in the building.
From parts unknown.
Shout out to technical difficulties. It's time to upgrade my Mac.
All part of the game, brother. It's all part of the game.
Dylan, I know you know how to add firmwares to Mac.
Are we assuming Dylan knows how to do things?
I do. I am.
I could probably figure something out.
That was an interesting noise. Okay. Well, we're here. As I said, there's been a lot going on. Is there a ghost in the studio? What is happening? Is that you, James? Yeah. You're the
what
only
a
one
night this is.
You're the only one moving, James. It's not.
What a night. Let's keep it moving.
Okay. Well, we're here to recap. This was going to be a all NBA recap of the playoffs because the NBA playoffs have been wild. But we can't do that because, as you see, if you've been following us, Podcast Poppy, on our YouTube page, every week for it feels like the last 18 episodes has been Aaron Rodgers' hostage as we wait for him to go to the Jets. And finally, we can say unequivocally, we can actually ring off the breaking news theme for the first time in the pod. Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet.
It just feels like a big weight is lifted off my shoulder because now I don't have to deal with that potential. What if the Jets fumble this bag?
Listen, me and James have talked about it because, woo!
It would be nightmare fuel because Roz put his eggs in his basket, and I didn't want this to happen. So, here we are dealing with this situation right before the draft, and it's just been nightmare fuel. The idea that they could do this, and the Packers were just like, no. We're just not going to do it now. I just don't understand it. I'm glad it got over. Again, I'm still not the biggest fan of this whole thing, this whole situation, but I've come to terms with it. So I understand this is my life now.
I wish Raj and Anthony was here because if I remember correctly, you was adamant about not giving up a first-round pick for this man.
I mean, we technically didn't. We just moved back 2 picks. It's a swap. If we would have just gave the 13 up and not received 15, that's ridiculous.
You swapped first-round picks, which means they got a first-round pick from you. And they have a conditional pick.
I knew that was going to happen. I was
That is
adamant
a
that
first
this
round
year.
pick, Dylan. That's a first
I was
round pick.
no. I was adamant about not giving up this year's first. Do not give up 13 and not get anything back in exchange. I was always of the belief that the conditional pick was going to be like a second round pick that becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers decides not to retire.
We don't even have to do. We don't even have to do that.
We don't, and that's why like I'm not a big fan of this trade. But like, I feel like Roz was trying to like he got mad at this trade because he felt like we should have fleeced the Packers. Like at the end of the day, like they're an organization too. Like I think it's because we fleeced like 3 teams in a trade where just like it's overwhelmingly like the Jets won the trade. An even trade just doesn't seem like it's a good trade.
Well, here's the thing. I've known Roz for a very long time. I've dealt with him in fantasy football for a very long time. Roz has no concept of fair trade. It is either he wins or he wins or he wins dramatically. That's all he sees. There's no balance. There's no both teams benefit. It's I win, or I win.
Like
so
the crazy thing is like the Jets win the trade because they get Aaron Rodgers, right? They just lost the staring contest. That's really all it is. We lost the staring contest and not giving up a ton of shit. But like at the end of the day, when I was going over this trade with Roz again, we didn't go up first this year. We just moved back 2 picks. That's a win in my book because we still have a pick in the teens, right? We gave up a second next year that could be becoming first. That will more than likely becoming first unless Rodgers gets hurt. We gave up a second this year. That's why we traded for a second. And then a 6.
A 6
trade compensations.
A 5.
And we got a 5. So like it's really just an even trade at this point.
I don't think it's a good trade.
I don't think we gave up too much. If he retires, absolutely we gave up too much. And this goes back to my biggest fear of this whole situation, which is we do all this for Rodgers for 1 year, take 3 steps forward to then take 6 back because there's no actual contingency plan.
And that is the world James is living for.
But like, in all seriousness, that's my actuality. That's been my problem with this whole situation. Is everybody's is looking for the right now, and I'm like, what about 2024? like this is a real situation here. But nope, gotta live right now.
Yeah,
gotta live right now. Man. Fuck. And the crazy thing is, this is exactly what happens when the Nets get Kevin Durant, and then after the world is great, and then it doesn't work out, and then all of a sudden it's the biggest fuck up of all time, and Roz is hitting on the Nets every chance you get. But that's the same time, like you do that shit every fucking time. Like if you get Kevin Durant, you get Kevin Durant every single time.
But just both can be true. Both can be true.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, like you have to go do it. Even though, like, it could potentially cost you everything. While your team.
Oh, my question is, how can you be happy with one and not happy with the other when it's almost the same thing?
Because with Kevin Durant, I end up getting 4 years of Kevin Durant.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm about to say
he was a net for 4 years, was he not?
It feels like you got maybe a season and a half out of him. Maybe.
No, if we're going actual games played,
yes,
it's definitely like a season, right? A season and a half. If we go about tenure on the roster, it's 4 years. With Rodgers, it's a real possibility I get a year. It's a real possibility that a 40-year-old man shows up to camp, and I don't get a year. And then I'm stuck with Zach. And that's the fear here.
Is you talking about someone being put in a tough situation.
He put himself in that situation.
No, but Aaron Rodgers is my guy. And I am not happy that he's on the Jets because I don't like the Jets.
You're in the situation that you were with the Lakers and LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, this is deja vu. This is deja vu all over again. But I will admit, if Aaron Rodgers is what you think he is, Dylan, this is going to be a fun season. This is going to be a train wreck of epic proportion. If Aaron Rodgers is washed, oh boy, and he just ups and quits because he doesn't care anymore. Ooh.
And you guys end up with Zach Wilson as your quarterback.
and then gotta rely on Zach again. And then you won't have a first round pick. So guess who your starting quarterback will be?
If he were to up and quit, because he has to play 65% of the plays, if he were to up and quit, it would stay a second round pick.
But what if he does?
If he plays the 65% on the dot,
I saw on TMKS, we will not name the show even though it's my favorite show, that equates to about 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, in what world, James, do we live in that we get to week 11 and the Jets are 6-5? I don't know when their bye week is. I could be off, but
nobody knows yet.
So let's just say it's 6-5. You're 2 games out of the playoffs.
And he Brett Favre's it?
And, well, because at that point, because you know these teams are shady, and most teams would just bench him so they don't hit that 65%. But what if y'all are right on the cusp?
That's where the Jets are in a shady situation where you can't bench him because you have to make the playoffs.
And then
you have to make a run.
And then you don't make the playoffs. And then Aaron goes back into his cave and comes out and says, I don't have it anymore. I quit. And your first round pick is gone. And Zach Wilson is all that's there.
That's where I stand on my soapbox and I say, I told you so.
You know, I feel like you wouldn't be so calm. I feel like...
Oh, no, I wouldn't. No. I'm calm now. I'm calm now when referring to my soapbox. When referring to that,
the lights, the TV, the wall panels,
all of this down.
When I tell you I'll be on that soapbox, good luck getting me off of that soapbox because I will staple my feet to that thing with a loudspeaker, just screaming "I told you so," and then pointing my finger at Roz, saying it's his fault, and because he spoke it into existence. And that
y'all can see it now. 25 missed SOI chat calls.
I won't want to text. I will want to call and talk to him in person to scream at him.
Dylan will get on the plane, fly to Atlanta, be like, "Yo, we have to have a. You will talk."
He spoke it into existence. So it's no one else's fault but Roz's for speaking this into existence if all that happens. But again, if it turns out this is just the outlier situation, this is the Tom Brady to the Bucks, the Matt Stafford to the Rams, and good shit happens, then I will admit my faults, apologize to everybody.
I feel like that won't happen either.
And crown Aaron Rodgers the king of whatever the fuck he's the king of.
So, my next question to you, Dylan. What makes this a successful season? Is it Super Bowl or bust?
I honestly, Mike, I wish I had an answer for you because I don't know. Because going into the season without Aaron Rodgers, a successful season to me would have been, all right, we just make the playoffs. That would have been a successful season. You go and you get a Derek Carr. You know you have him for 3 years. You make the playoffs, and then the next year you go to win a playoff game. Now we skip steps. I don't like when the Jets do that. I don't like when the Jets skip steps. It's just a recipe for fucking disaster. So we skipped the whole 2023 season of what was supposed to be make the playoffs, and it has to be like, oh, the Jets have to make a playoff run.
Didn't you guys make the playoffs this season?
Nope. 7 games.
No, James, I'll be Anthony right now. No, Dylan, you haven't made the playoffs since 2013.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. 6 games. 6 games.
Oh, you guys have the longest active playoff drought in all of sports.
The crazy thing about Anthony is like he talks shit about that drought, yet we still have more playoff wins in that time frame.
Everyone in here has more playoff wins than Anthony's Raiders in that time frame.
The Raiders haven't won a playoff game since I was 8.
James, how long has it been since you stopped watching football?
Shit. 20.
Don't worry, you didn't miss much.
2016.
It's still have more playoff wins in that time frame since James stopped watching football.
Did you know the Jets and the Raiders have the same amount of playoff wins in the last 12 years?
Oh my god!
Actually, no, 12 years. No, let's go 9 years. In the last 9 years, the Jets and the Raiders have the same amount of playoff wins. 0.
Poverty.
0.
Poverty franchise.
Now, which team has made the playoffs in that time frame? Because not the
Raiders.
It's the Raiders. They made it a couple times. They didn't win shit. All it just proves is, oh, we haven't been there in a long time. Yeah, well, the last 3 times we were in the playoffs, we advanced. Last 2 times were title games.
You're the Miami Marlins of football.
Yeah, before we continue with real stuff, the Raiders are an actual poverty franchise. Their owner cries poor. He can't get a loan.
Cash broke?
They are literally cash broke, and they can't get a loan because Mark Davis just asked for a loan for this stadium. That's why McDaniels is still the head coach, because they can't afford to fire him and pay 2 head coaches who are not on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
A literal poverty franchise.
But they do have a beautiful stadium.
Steve Aoki is always there.
I will say that. They have a beautiful stadium.
Steve Aoki is always fucking there.
We're going to cut in here because at the time that we are doing this episode, it is Tuesday night. We have to announce that because the playoffs are moving very quickly. If you were here last week or you were with us on Post Game Live, you know that I said that the Nuggets were going to pack the Wolves up.
You said the Wolves weren't going to win a game, too.
I did. I was going to say that. I predicted a sweep. It took everything Anthony Edwards had in the tank in overtime to get them a game. And here we are, 3 seconds left, down 3. Their season's about to end. I'm getting the breaking news ready because I know what's about to happen.
But what if it doesn't?
It's over.
But what if it doesn't end?
Oh, almost turned it over, Dylan. Almost. I don't know.
My NBA TV just flat out told me it's still waiting for the game to return. I'm on my computer.
Nice. You are not ahead of me this time, buddy.
No, I'm not. I'm currently sitting at a game break.
There was a deflection. There's 2.2 on the clock now.
Okay, from what I see, there's 2 seconds left, and I'm still on game break. So I think I actually am ahead of you.
Unbelievable. Oh, Phoenix.
What is happening right now? What is fucking happening? Can I watch this fucking game? Don't worry. It said it was okay. Don't worry. My NBA TV just decided it was going to be on game break the whole time, and I missed that whole sequence. I just watched Anthony Edwards just run straight to the locker room, so I'm assuming he's the one that took the shot.
And bricked it and took off.
The season is over.
Their season is over. Gentlemen sweep. Packed up.
They still got one.
Packed up. Thanks for coming. Have a good day. See you in the
Let me
after.
see this shot. Oh, that's a good shot.
Did he take a chair with him?
Nope, he just pushed the fuck out of the security guard and kept it pushing.
That was the security guard he pushed?
Yeah.
Yep. He got a good look.
Good look.
And it was right on. It was actually right on line. Just a little strong.
Ugh. That sucks. Well,
and that ends the cat era in Minnesota.
It does.
With him on the bench.
All right, let's start the cat counter.
Cat.
Where is Cat going and how many days until he gets traded?
Cat to the Knicks, James.
I don't know how the Julius Randle dynamic would work.
I don't either. They're both. Julius is actually tougher than him.
Soft.
Yeah, I would say Julius is actually tougher than him. So I don't know how that works, but
y'all got Brunson. Whatever. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out.
No, I don't want him.
Don't worry. I also don't want him. But I have a feeling that's a reality.
You guys can use him though.
We could, but I know he's soft.
That's gonna be your guy.
Well, if you got Dame and Mikal Bridges, you got somebody to just to have his back. You got somebody to have his back.
I've never this Dame thing feels real, and I'm not jumping to any conclusions here, but it's just weird. He doesn't go to NBA games. Apparently that Nets game he went to is the first NBA game he's ever attended. That's crazy to me. And then it comes out a little bit before that he's like, yo, one of my two favorite players in the league is Mikal Bridges and somebody else. And I'm just like this is just weird. Don't play with my emotions, Dame. It just seems too good to be true. That's all I'm saying. And then him not being very committed to Portland, for him to be like, yeah, I'll take a look in this offseason and see how I want to move forward.
I mean, he kind of did this last year, though.
Did he?
He kind of was. I'll look. I'll see how I feel.
Well, the thing is, they went and they got him people. It's just it didn't work.
Then he was like, "Yeah, I'll stay."
So when it comes to a trade, the Nets have it. They can do it. They have the largest trade exception in basketball with 18 mil for Kevin Durant. They have all the draft picks in the fucking world to trade away. And then I feel whoever doesn't get Scoot Henderson, Victor Wembanyama, or homeboy from Alabama is going to be first in line for we're going to trade for Ben Simmons sweepstakes. Because they're going to be the team that's willing to take his contract and buy it out.
I'm sure that kid from Alabama would fit in good with Memphis. God, see what I did there?
You know who else would fit in good with fucking Memphis? Mikey Williams.
Mikey Williams, is he like an 8-year senior?
Dude, I've been hearing about Mikey Williams coming to the NBA draft for 5 years. That's crazy. But for those of you who don't know, Mikey Williams just got busted on a bunch of gun charges. Yeah,
that's the joke. That's the joke here.
Mikey Williams is what Ja thinks he is. It sucks because he has a bright future ahead of him, and that's just a step back, man. But who knows?
I won't say he had a bright future because he's still very young, but
as far as basketball in the NBA goes, who knows what that is looking like? Because it kind of seems when you have something like that at 17 years old, it doesn't seem like that's something that's gonna really make teams want to go after you. unless he's just absolved of all gun charges, which sucks, but whatever. Nets got swept.
At TF up.
I mean, to be expected.
Third best team in New York.
Don't worry, the Knicks are still the second best team in New York.
Not right
They're
now.
not better than the Liberty.
Not right now. Not right now.
Better than the Liberty.
Right
No, New
now.
York is on fire. And if I have to really sit here and argue with Roz about, the Knicks are running New York City again, the Knicks were never not running New York City. The Knicks and the Nets were in the playoffs at the same fucking time. Nets were winning games and advancing, and nobody cared. Knicks won one game against the Hawks and were ready to tear down the fucking city. Like, what are we doing? The Knicks won 2 home playoff games, and they shut down 7th Ave. And you're going to sit here and tell me that the Nets ran New York City?
Well, the Nets are the Clippers. Their fans are just...
The Nets are the big... And then he tried to get his way out of me saying, I was like, when the Clippers were winning games, Lakers weren't, like, was it a Clippers town? And then he goes like, well, with Kawhi, we won a championship. I'm like, no, I'm talking about Lob City. And he goes, Lob City, ellipses, LOL. And I said, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to see. With that statement right there.
Still a Lakers. It was still a Laker time.
I was like, whether the Lakers were winning or not. The Lakers, it's a Laker town. He goes, no, and I was like, and did you say it was a Clipper town? And then he said yes. I was like, yeah, you're lying. You're absolutely lying. Because I know you, and I know your fandom. You would never say that.
Never. He hates the Clippers, actually.
Hates them. Absolutely hates them. So it's like, what are we doing?
They are up there with the Orioles.
And then he tried to get into argument. He was like, where were the Nets before they were in Brooklyn? I was like, well, they were in New York.
That was the dumbest argument, I think.
Remember when he told me, I don't know if you saw it, he told me, I said they were the New York Nets, and he said, nope. Replied to that comment and said, nope. And I'm just like, what are we doing here?
I guess the ABA doesn't count, too.
The ABA doesn't count, and, like, the Nets had to leave. The Nets tried to stay in New York, but couldn't afford it. Because the Knicks are being scumbags.
Well, it's a Knick town.
It always has been.
It'll probably always will be.
The only way it would never not be in Knick town is if the Nets won like 3. That'd be the only way. And even still, it would be very difficult.
And that's what Katie and Kyrie thought they were coming to do. That's what he thought he was doing. It didn't work out that way.
I mean, that 2020 run was fun.
Fun for you. You're a Nets fan.
It was very fun. I think it was fun for the city to be in that moment. But even if we won that series and won the title, whatever Roz thinks, he's like, yeah, if the Nets would have won, they would have been a great parade. I was like, not as if it was the Knicks. Like,
they would have came down the Brooklyn Bridge. They would have went down Flatbush. That would have been cool. Rah, rah,
it would have been people, but it wouldn't have been just
let the Knicks win the title.
Y'all
gonna have to send out a missing person report on me, because I'm gonna be lost in that mob.
Yeah,
I'm calling out. I'm going to the parade. I don't care. I'm there.
No, it'll literally be a war zone. Like, New York will literally be a war zone.
Like,
you guys are gonna see me on you're gonna see me on Channel 7 News helping someone tip a car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just drunk with a all white New York Knicks starter jacket, Knick hat, sunglasses. Take the sunglasses off, face paint on under that. The Knicks ever won the chip in my lifetime. Pandemonium.
Yeah.
It'll be insane. Like, the fact that Roz is even arguing that is just like ridiculous. During that playoff run, Flo would message me just to say, it's like, y'all fake ass New York team. Go back to Jersey.
Oh,
Anthony,
Florida.
that whole run, we still run New York. I don't care, Anthony. I know. I know. You run the Knicks run New York. I get it.
It's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine.
It's fine. Jay-Z and Mikhail Prokhorov are trying to take back New York.
I'm so glad that you brought up. I'm so glad you brought up Anthony because you just reminded me that I had to look in on his hockey team that he loves so much.
More breaking news.
They are down 6-3 in the third period.
What's that series?
2-2.
Being packed up in a game 5.
Anthony's been real quiet. I hope he's working on getting his license.
You've been mentioning this license thing a lot lately. What is going on?
Oh, you haven't heard about one of the worst crimes you could commit, James. It's meat riding without a license.
Walked right into it. Walked right into that, James.
Meat riding without a license. And Anthony is one of those people who commits that crime quite a bit.
It's on full display this weekend.
It was incredible what that man was doing. Oh, the Star J Barrett.
Star J Barrett had me done.
I never heard him refer to RJ Barrett as Star J Barrett in my life. Especially when the night before RJ Barrett at the time of the message had 21 and he goes, "Get the ball out of RJ's fucking hands." And I'm like, he's playing really well. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, when I have to defend RJ Barrett, that's a problem. And we all know how I feel about RJ Barrett.
Big problem.
Like, when I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude's balling. Like, shut up. Tibbs finally decided to do that thing where he sets 2 screens at the top of the key and lets him just run downhill on his left hand. Like, it works.
Well, from what I've seen, RJ's also figured out that they don't have anyone that can really guard him and stop him from getting to the hole.
He's big. Yeah, the best defender is guarding Brunson, who's doing whatever he wants at will. And they don't have an actual, forward with length.
Yeah. And RJ is just cooking. All of us, he's cooking. So.
Yeah, and then Jared Allen's just doing this thing where he's just, soft.
Jared Allen.
That was not in my cards.
But him and Mitch are battling. They are.
Yeah, but Jared Allen's getting scored on too much down there.
But
by not bigs.
Evan Mobley has not shown up at all. He literally is playing as bad as Julius Randle is in this series.
And Julius Randle's lucky Jalen Brunson's here.
Julius apparently is playing on one leg, according to Tibbs, but nah, Julius is not playing well.
You can't have 2 back-to-back bad series in New York.
Now, listen, all it takes is one good series, and who cares?
He's lucky RJ stepped up the last 2 games. Because if RJ was playing how game 1 and game 2 RJ played.
Game 1 RJ was not that bad. Game 2 RJ was
Game 1 RJ was bad.
No,
what are we doing?
Game 2 RJ was horrendous.
No, your bias is showing. Game 1 RJ was not good.
Game 1 RJ played defense and got rebounded.
He played good defense, but he was horrendous on offense.
He didn't score, but he did other things. You can do other things to affect the game.
And then game 2 RJ, he didn't do either.
He was terrible.
No, game 2 RJ, but I'm not saying game 1 RJ was egregious. He just wasn't good. He was bad. But game 2 RJ was horrendous.
Game 2 RJ was not good.
Game 3 RJ came to play.
Game 3 RJ was the RJ Barrett that I
and
got.
If that's a RJ Barrett you get consistently, you'll be fine.
And then I didn't see game 4. I heard the fourth quarter on the radio, but It looks like Game 4 RJ was also very good.
He was very good. Just Julius Randle was fucking not. And it just seemed like Game 4, the rims were hoeing Cleveland so bad. It was crazy, man. Like, they had like 3 straight shots that went drung, 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 and I'm just like, what's happening? Like, Donovan Mitchell's like, these are shots he should be making. Between Mitchell and Karis LeVert in that fourth quarter, those shots were. Go tell me what Karis LeVert's been doing for the last 3 games, Michael, then try that again.
I don't know what he's been doing. I don't care.
He's been doing exactly what RJ Barrett's been doing. Like, they put Karis LeVert in the starting lineup, and like, he started balling. Like, they gave him more opportunities because they know they're like, yo, we're not going to let Garland and Mitchell get there. Somebody else has to. So they just been letting Karis LeVert cook, which is weird. I still like.
RJ.
He also no. Karis LeVert does not play defense. He does not. He does not. But my main criticism of Cleveland is it's 2023. We don't have plays to beat a 2-3 zone.
I mean,
like, we're professional basketball players here. Like, you're an NBA coach, and you're getting killed in 2023 on a 2-3 zone. Figure that out.
I mean,
like, they should not be you should not be getting beat by the Jim Boeheim, like, Orange Crush fucking Syracuse 2-3 zone.
But you can when Jared Allen can't shoot, Mobley can't shoot. Karis LeVert
doesn't shoot well, but he will throw it up.
LeVert's streaky, and then you have Garland and Donovan.
Yeah, stop running a pick and roll on a 2-3 zone. Like, the zone just shifts.
That just goes. That is exactly what the defense wants when you do that.
Like, literally, like, all the Knicks are doing is wherever the ball handler is, they're shading to, the screen gets set, and they blitz. Simple, right? And then the weak side defender comes to help. It, like, cheats over. Why are you going to keep setting screens on a 2-3 zone? It don't work. Especially at the top of the key. It don't work. Figure something out.
I love the fact that it seems like Tibbs is winning this coaching battle.
I think it's hilarious that Tibbs is winning this coaching battle. Like, and it's not even because Tibbs is like a bad coach. It's just like Tibbs is out adjusting somebody. That's crazy.
I would say James would disagree.
I don't think he's a great coach, but he's not a bad one. Like, the fact that he decided to bench Randall that's a big decision to make. To bench arguably your best player, or your second best player, whatever the fuck you want it is. But we all know who the actual person is, Jalen Brunson. James seems to be the only person to have paid attention to me giving Jalen Brunson all the fucking flowers in the world last Saturday. Yeah, Mike, you ignored that because you tried to say I was shitting on Jalen Brunson or the Knicks when I was like, nope, I did. You said, oh, you got awfully quiet.
You did get quiet after game 3.
No, I actually fell asleep like face down.
That was
I knocked out.
Knicks win convincingly. I'm dead.
No, I fell asleep in the third quarter, I think. And then I woke up and I saw everything. And I immediately gave Jalen Brunson all the credit in the fucking world. After I defended RJ Barrett before I fell asleep. Which is not a great way to go to bed. But no, the fact that we know what Jalen Brunson is going to do every single time that he has the basketball, yet nobody knows that he's going to do these things that he does every time he has the basketball. He's either going to do 2 things. He's going to penetrate, dribble around, dribble under the basket, look for a guy at the top of the key or the cutter, or he's going to take you left, get to the free throw line on that side, hop inside for the fadeaway, or he's going to pop a floater. Like, every time. That's literally the Jalen Brunson offense.
Or he'll do the post up fadeaway J. Which
Yeah,
likes
no,
to
like
do.
he'll hop into that. That's kind of what he does. All around that free throw line area. That's his bread and butter. He is just unstoppable there. The fact that we don't know that that's coming is like if he's going left, that's what he's doing. If he's going right, that's where he's trying to facilitate and work.
I mean, you stop it then.
I'll call the Cavaliers coach and be like, "Do you know this is what this guy does, or like, are we just gonna refuse to like do something?"
Bigger staff.
I just don't get it. That's the one thing I don't get from NBA coaches is when you see something, make an adjustment. Coach Bud, you see something, make an adjustment. Coach Bud.
We are James. That brings us to our next game because I'm pretty confident because me and James aren't crazy like that. This series with the Knicks and Cavs is not over at all in the least. Cleveland absolutely can win. Cleveland absolutely can win Game 5.
It's 50-50. We feel like we can steal Game 5 because we stole Game 1. But I don't think Cleveland's gonna go out without fighting. So it's up in the air. It's up in the air.
And game 6 is going to be a lot of pressure on the Knicks
because they went back to the 2-2-1-1-1, right?
Yes. If Game 5 was in New York, that series would be over.
Mm-hmm.
If Game 5 was in New York, that series would be over.
Remember when Anthony said momentum is rolling over is widely considered a myth? And
I don't even pay attention to those comments.
I love when he says dumb shit.
But
I love that you remember all of his Anthony facts.
Dude, I have a fucking steel trap. I don't forget shit. I don't forget shit. But continue. I'm sorry.
I do think the Knicks are in a good shape, obviously, and that would lead us to the second round, which I don't know about y'all, but I did not have Knicks Heat in the second round on my bingo card to start the playoffs.
I was hoping for it, and we're almost there.
Jimmy Butler is doing that thing where he's Jimmy Butler, and I love it because without any argument from anyone on this panel, I am absolutely the biggest Jimmy Butler fan here. And I have enjoyed I was in here going crazy. I knew Milwaukee was in trouble when Jimmy was confident enough to take the three. When he starts taking threes, not like forcing end of the shot clock, when he willingly is taking threes, you're in for a long night. And boy, did Milwaukee have a long night. 56 for Jimmy buckets. And Milwaukee is in trouble. They're down 3-1. Game 5, I think it's also Wednesday. No, I think it's Thursday.
I would say.
I think it's.
They do play tomorrow. Tomorrow is a star-studded night. 4 games.
Post-game live is going to be fun tomorrow. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
So, James, let me get your opinion on this.
What's up?
Because me and Mike been arguing about this
for 2 days now.
2 days now.
2 days. We've been arguing about the Jimmy Butler game.
So, I said last night that if I'm Giannis, I'm embarrassed. Right? Okay. And I'm embarrassed because the last 5 minutes, Jimmy Butler dropped 56, right? And Mike, to his point, they threw bodies at him, but the last 5 minutes of this game, I went and rewatched it. Jimmy Butler didn't have anybody else guard him but Drew Holiday at all. And at no point did Giannis say, I got him. Let me get him. at least attempt to stop him and provide a different look for the foreseeable future. There's one play in particular that pops up to me that I watched. I think it's about 2 minutes, a minute 48 left in the game. Jimmy's bringing the ball up. They set a screen on Drew Holiday at the free throw line. Jimmy gets to the top of like the left side of the court, and Giannis is kind of standing there at the corner, or right by the basket, just standing there, not picking up. Nobody's rotating. Instead, Drew Holiday sprints down the court to get back to Jimmy Butler to guard him. Mind you, at this point, the only person who has scored baskets besides Jimmy, I think, is Caleb Martin with a couple open jump shots. But every basket that Jimmy scored in the last 5 minutes of the game was on Drew Holiday. And I said Giannis should be embarrassed because he didn't go to Bud and be like, no, let me get him. This is an MVP. This is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And you're watching this guy torch you. Absolutely torch you. And you don't provide a look. And I don't blame Giannis for the loss. I blame Bud. Because Bud didn't try to provide a different look.
Yeah.
My argument is I understand it, but I also understand that Drew Holiday is an all-NBA first-team defensive player.
He was 50 dropped on him.
He was voted by the players in the league to be the best defender in the league. So while all of that with Giannis is true, Drew Holiday, there's no reason to be like, nah, you can't do it, Drew. I'm gonna do it.
It's not a matter you can't do it. It's, hey, let me go in there because you can't provide one reason. I can provide you 50.
But he didn't drop the whole 50 on him.
No, you're right because there was 56 scored. So
and throughout that game, Giannis did guard Jimmy, and he got cooked. And Chris Middleton guarded Jimmy, and he got cooked. So everyone.
But we're using isolated incidents as opposed to like taking it for stretches of the game. Like, let's use, I don't know, Kawhi Leonard as an example. If somebody's doing that, Kawhi Leonard is saying, "I got you." Paul George, I got you. LeBron James, I got you. Kevin Durant, I got you. All these guys would be like, no, I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this. That's mine. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it on me because at the end of the day, I'm going to take responsibility for it. Like, that's me. And if we stop it, it's because I made the move. I made the decision that I was going to be the one that ends this.
But Drew is also a better matchup for Jimmy.
Is he?
I think he is.
That game, he was not. So not only does Giannis provide a completely different look for those 5 minutes, the shots that he was getting he only was able to get because Drew Holiday doesn't have the length to cover.
But Drew wasn't getting cooked. Jimmy made some ridiculous shots.
That means he was getting cooked. He was
good.
Chop,
good
chop, chop, hibachi. Like, he was
good defense, better offense. A lot of that
that's
was
you getting
defense.
cooked.
That's not you getting cooked.
If
that's
you're
just,
taking shots,
that's just somebody being hot, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, cooked.
Nobody was going to stop Jimmy Butler that night. Not you.
We don't know because he didn't.
Not LeBron, not Kawhi, not Michael Jordan. No one was stopping that Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was on God mode. Nothing was stopping
a defensive player of the year and former MVP to step up on that side of the ball. Because Giannis is injured. Yeah, Giannis still had like 20 and 20 or some shit like that. He had a great game. But you know what would have helped more than that triple-double? If Jimmy scored 30 instead of 56. That's all I'm saying. I would like to hold the superstar accountable in that game. The best player in the league accountable in that game.
He is the best player in the league.
watching his teammate get cooked. Kobe wouldn't have did that.
Imagine Kobe saying, "No, you're getting cooked, Andrew Bynum. I'm gonna guard Kevin Garnett now." Even though
Giannis is a 6'11" wing
matchup.
player who can guard the perimeter. He just doesn't.
He can, but you're not going to have him do that all the time.
You could. I didn't say all the time. I said the last 5 minutes.
Even that is too long of a stretch.
It's not.
When
the Lakers played the Nuggets in what, that Western Conference Final in 2008, where they needed somebody to guard Carmelo Anthony, who said I got him?
Those two are more closely together physically than Giannis and Jimmy.
Physically?
And Giannis, and you know that.
Giannis guarded Kyrie Irving in a playoff match.
And would you have Giannis do that for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Because you know what's good.
I would. You want to know why? Because you know what type of defender gives Kyrie Irving fits? A long defender who can defend his pull-ups. Do you know how many jump shots were taken by Jimmy Butler in that last 5-minute stretch that were mid-range pull-ups?
So
two out of the 6 shots that he took. So a third of his shots were mid-range pull-ups. One of them was an open 3, and then the other 2 were 3-point pull-ups. You don't think Giannis's length could have made a little bit of a difference in contesting?
They were running pick and rolls for him during that also.
I would love for you to do as I did and watch the final 5 minutes of that game. And tell me otherwise.
I would like to have the opportunity to answer.
I'm sorry. Mike is being a communist again.
No, Dylan. No, Dylan. So, okay. So, Jimmy Butler. So you're asking me which would I rather, right, in this situation?
Well, I asked you, what do you think? Because I think Giannis, whether you're going to think he should be embarrassed or not, that's your own thing. But, like, do you think Giannis should have been like, yo, let me get him?
Well, right now, as their team is constructed, with him being injured, he can't physically guard Jimmy Butler because he got hurt game 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So his lateral movements are not there, and so they got him guarding someone that's basically almost immobile, right? Who is he guarding on the court?
Usually it's either Bam or whoever is the least offensive threat, honestly.
Yeah.
If that's not a guard.
The most
but
immobile
to be fair here, even
when
before you continue, I'm sorry, but before, like, to be fair here, they do that with Giannis even when he's healthy. The reason why I know that is, let's go back to Nets Bucks. No, let's go back to Nets Bucks. Fourth quarter, Kevin Durant is sitting there ready to have the game. Who's guarding Kevin Durant? Not Giannis.
PJ Tucker, the guy they specifically brought to that team to guard Kevin Durant.
When he fouled out, do you know who was guarding him?
And they moved to Chris Middleton.
It was primary Drew Holiday. And then they switched to Chris Middleton, and they didn't let Giannis guard him.
So Drew Holiday is good enough to guard Kevin Durant, but he's not good enough to guard
Kevin Durant, because you know what Kevin Durant gave him? Every bucket he could. And I'm not saying Drew Holiday's a bad defender. I'm just saying when a guy's getting cooked, you should probably switch. Go ahead, James.
Listen, I'm not saying we gotta act like Drew Holiday isn't chopped liver, and I'm not saying that you're saying that, but like Drew Holiday, his height, how tall he is? He's 6'4", 6'5". He's not a little guard. Jimmy Butler is only 6'8". So comparably, 3 inches. You don't care about that height difference.
I care about the length.
And you don't. But they're so close that you can't really, like, when you're guarding someone, you don't really feel that much of a difference. You know how they use the theory of shooting over a chair and stuff like that. It has to be the situation of Drew Holiday guarding KD, where it's a 6'11" to 6'4" difference. That's shooting over a chair. But 6'8" to 6'5", 6'5", 6'4", there's not really much of a difference. And Jimmy Butler is more on the 6'7" side of that 6'8". But comparing,
so my problem with it isn't that he was too short to contest a jumper. It's the space that was created in between on those pull-ups is where the problem is. And that's where it's like, Giannis is only 3 inches taller, but that reach advantage comes in handy there. That's more so what I'm saying. If anybody's taking me as saying that Drew Holiday's a bad defender, he's not. He's probably the best perimeter defender.
Yeah, that's why I try. Clearing that up before I even make the statement. But I mean, at that moment, you run with your game plan because you already know that your star player is not at 100%. So you put faith into your next man up, which is your second best defender, who is all NBA first team defense, which is Drew Holiday. You give him the task, which is not a which is a tall task, but at the same time, it's not something that's foreign to him because he's known to guard the best player on the team. So you let the chips fall where they lay. Like you just live with it. You live with the outcome because this is something that they've done. Now, whether you're saying that Giannis should step up, I mean, this is your band of brothers type of thing, man. If you know you're not 100%, this is just something you're just gonna have to live with. And I feel like he knows he's not 100% to guard him. Now, if you're going off a trend and you say that trend-wise he doesn't guard the best player regardless, I think it's all matchups and game plan. Like Giannis may not guard the best player in the Miami series if he's healthy, right? He may not guard Jimmy even if he's healthy. And you say he may not guard KD, but there have been instances where he guarded KD. There have been instances where
there'll be instances throughout the game where they switch onto it, but not in the moments that matter. Where it's like in that Boston series against Jason Tatum, Giannis barely touched Jason Tatum. He was too busy playing touch boat with Al Horford that entire series. That's where it's like, and there's a few games where.
But Al Horford is a bad because if you. Let's say you do put Giannis on Tatum or Brown, Al Horford can go inside or outside. Like if you put someone small, Al Horford, he's
no. You wouldn't put someone small on Al Horford. You would
have to put a Giannis or Brook Lopez
or
on him
or Bobby Portis. Exactly, those are the guys you put out there.
Giannis, because Horford is a bad matchup, so I can't fault him for that when Boston creates.
But it's not him doing that.
So
Boston creates matchup problems, but you have your options for it.
The thing I could understand the reason why. Here's the reason why they have Drew Holiday guarding Jimmy Butler than Giannis, right? Jimmy Butler is probably one of the highest free throw, if not the highest free throw percenter, like going to the line. He gets to the line a lot. If he's not the leader, he's like top 3 in that category by going to the line. You can't afford your best player to be in foul trouble because he's going to get them in foul trouble. Secondly, whether Giannis is guarding Jimmy Butler or not, he's gonna get switched off because they do that
automatic switching that Dylan hates.
That automatic switch, and they do that paint switch. They do that paint pick and roll for Jimmy Butler because he likes to be on the elbow of the free throw line. So they always do that little mid range pick and roll where he gets that mid range jump shot. So he's gonna get switched off anyway. So
and
I just
can't blame Giannis for that because every team in the NBA does that, as Dylan loves to proclaim, because he hates that with a passion. That
I hate the auto switch. The auto switch is the worst thing to happen to defense in basketball. The problem is
it's the worst thing, but it's also common sense as well, because in today's NBA, you can't really fight through a screen the way the screens are made and how the refs call the games. So that's just that it is what it is. If you fight through the screen a certain way, you may lack on the play and lose sight of your man or get switched to the big man. So you might as well just automatically switch too. I hate it too. I've been screaming it for years from when
it's the worst because they switch on brush buys. They don't even switch on screens. If somebody's just cutting through, they switch.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
Sometimes I think every now and then they should throw a monkey wrench instead of just taking the switch. Just stay. But the thing is, you gotta also depend on whether if your teammate is gonna stay, or if they're gonna commit, or if they're gonna sag, or if they're gonna hedge the other player. You gotta depend on common sense or mental error and stuff like that. So to avoid that, they just say, yo, switch everything instead of manning up.
I just think that Giannis should want to do that, and like the whole Band Brothers shit. Yeah, okay, I get it, but like at some point, like you have to sit there and do the Kobe thing where you're just like, listen.
He also, if I'm gonna sit on this ledge, I'm gonna sit on this ledge as well. He also isn't really the greatest defender either.
Even if he's not, but like, let's go to the Melo route, where Melo, not considered a great defender, would pick up the guy if needed be to take the responsibility. It's not even the matter of being able to do it. It's providing the better look. And if we're going to lose, it's going to lose, but it's going to be on me where I'm going to take the responsibility for it because he was cooking me, not cooking my guy.
What's the difference? Now you're worried about something that doesn't even hit stat sheets. You're worried about pride.
I mean, that's what happens, though. It's what happens when you have your star player who's taking responsibility.
That's what matters in the column, right?
Well, in which column are we talking about? The actual news column where you go to your reports, or are we doing the wins and losses?
Yeah,
but no, I just think that if a defensive player of the year, a quality MVP guy should be like, yo, let me step in.
That year, him winning defensive player of the year and MVP was a crock of shit. Yeah,
I know. I'm just trying to hold Giannis accountable the way most NBA fans won't, because he goes to the press conferences with his Oreos.
Oh my gosh!
And he makes funny jokes.
You hate him so much.
I dislike him and his bum ass brother.
You really hate him.
Oh, yesterday when they lost, after Anthony says, "Yeah, the Heat had a good run. Yeah, the Heat ain't winning another game," and they proceed to lose, and I go on my tirade about how many fucking hand claps that Thanasis have, how many high fives he did, a career high in high fives.
You're such a troll. You're such a troll.
Because he's a troll, and I will troll him every chance I get.
I love it.
Because you know what? You have to stand by the things you say. Stand by the things you say. Die on the hills. I've died on many a hill.
But here's the thing. Go ahead, he doesn't. It's not things that he says. It's things that he types. Because when we're on these podcasts, he won't necessarily say these things. So
you guys at home, Anthony's a wild boy in the chat. He's a wild boy in the chat.
He's a completely different cat than anybody ever really understands, unless you know him.
I say it all the time. I wish he would bring the chat Anthony to the podcast. Just bring that energy to the podcast, and we be off. We be skyrocket. We be out of here.
It's not even a matter of like some of the things he said. It's like, let's take a look at like what post show last week, where he was making it a point to say he just doesn't eat butter.
He does not eat butter. This is not us making this up. This is not us trying to make it. He literally said he does not eat butter, and then proceeded to argue with me, Dylan, and James for a good 20-25 minutes about how he does not eat butter. You cannot make it up. He tells IHOP to make his pancakes without butter.
And he doesn't use apps because they fuck up his order, so he calls IHOP.
Yeah.
Calls IHOP and say, "Hey, I want my pancakes without butter."
Because they haven't been making pancakes all day with butter.
Mind you, this is for no reason.
Yeah, no, like
there's no personal gain or like no getting over on anybody on this instance.
Just a liar.
It's just saying something for the sake of saying something.
He goes to the movies and gets dry popcorn with a little salt. That's I can't even finish that. Yeah,
and then when asked why, he left.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo. I really would love for people to understand
explain how. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's easy. He just left.
And hangs up. Yeah, he just leaves.
Yeah.
He doesn't like butter. He doesn't like Dr. J.
Doesn't like seafood, fish.
Doesn't like seafood.
That's how we got on it, Dylan. That's how, because
that's how we did it.
Crab legs, and you was trying to tell him some crab legs with some melted butter is just.
And then he just immediately was like, "Oh no, I don't eat butter.
I don't eat butter."
Yeah, no, nope. I don't eat butter.
What?
I still can't believe those words. Like, for somebody who eats as much as he does, like we saw him inhale a 16-ounce steak. Like,
inhale it, yes.
He cut it half. He cut it into 2 8-ounce steaks and just ate it in 2 bites. He would devour crab legs. Like, he seems like the dude who would fuck up some crab legs.
He does. He really like when he said he never had a seafood boil. Me and Dylan were both. Oh, you have no idea.
Life changing, man. We'll go to Hook and Reel. Like, let's go.
We will
change your life.
Change your life.
Whatever tune you're singing will change. Because he just don't eat the right fish. He don't eat the right shit. That's just it. I'm sticking to that. He should let me cook him something, but then he'll have to deal with like me talking shit to him the whole time. I told you. You just ain't eat the right fish.
Just delicious. Can't stop.
He's a.
Ooh. So what's the other shit? Lakers, Memphis. How could I forget about the man that is the reason for the title of this week's episode? Y'all must have forgot.
Remember when people say LeBron James is not clutch?
I've been hearing that for such a long time. Like, he's just not clutch. I mean, who says that? Like, how?
I don't understand it. Who knows? The man is actually so clutch, he hit a half-court shot. That didn't count.
Yeah.
But hey, no, this Lakers series has been so interesting. And it's all Dylan Brooks' fault.
It is.
It's literally all Dylan Brooks' fault. All he had to do was shut up.
They won one game, and he decided to say that LeBron is old.
That he only pokes bears. And the only way I respect you is if you give me 40.
And earlier in the season, they said, what do you do as far as the matchup when guarding LeBron? He said, I just sent him left. He doesn't like to go left. And then the last bucket on you is driving left.
Imagine the guy who's naturally left-handed doesn't like going left.
Yeah, that's another thing.
But
what scouting report are you watching?
Proceeded to call LeBron old, and then literally the next time the Lakers saw them, the biggest first quarter deficit in NBA playoff history.
Meanwhile, Roz is complaining the whole game.
The entire game.
Lakers are up 20, like on average of 25 the whole game.
And he's sitting here. What a stupid turnover. Here we go. Doing this again.
Are we just going to let Josh shoot? Yeah.
Yep. He can have as much garbage time points as he wants.
I mean, it's also look at the fucking scouting report. That's not like he's the one you want to let shoot. Him and Dylan Brooks.
It was 30. Now it's 20. Now it's 15. Now it's 11. Raj, there's 40 seconds left in the game. This game is over. This game is over. It's been over for a while now. You gotta work to the end. Like, you just like being miserable, sir. Like,
yeah, it sounds like it sounds like the argument we had last year when I was talking about the trend of when points matter versus him saying it doesn't matter whether if it was in the first 5 minutes of the game or during the garbage time. Remember that?
I know. I referenced that last night. It's not about missed free throws. It's about when you miss them.
Yeah, when you miss them. Exactly.
And that was all followed up by Roz saying, look at that, a superstar who makes his free throws. Brick.
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 Right there. Shut your ass up, Roz.
Yeah, if Anthony Davis shot 9 free throws and missed 5, doesn't matter, right? However, if he missed those in the last 2 minutes,
when you guys need them,
that shit matters.
Yeah,
that does not
the impact of when you get them points.
But now, stats don't track that.
Yeah, stats and facts, right? Because whether if he missed them in the last 2 minutes or missed them in the beginning of the game, the stats are the stats, right?
Stats are the stats.
That was my argument. Like,
no context. Context don't matter.
Yeah, that's insane.
For anything.
That's insane. That they just don't equate the same. It doesn't equate the same. You telling
they
me
absolutely matter.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Like you're telling me your emotions to when those shots are made, whether if it's if he misses 5 free throws in the first half, you're telling me your emotions to those 5 free throws missed in the first half are the same as the 5 free throws missed in the last 2 minutes when you need
Anthony Davis had 8 points going into the fourth quarter, and then didn't have great offensive quarter, but offensive tip in, offensive rebound, put back. He ended up finishing 16, 18. His points came in clutch time in the last minutes of the game where they matter, whether he had fucking 30 or not. He wasn't good at the beginning, but at the end of the game, he made his shots. He played big.
Damn. Well, before you continue, Dylan, unfortunately, the Phoenix Suns have eliminated the Los Angeles Clippers. But boy, oh boy, did the Clippers make it interesting. They were down, I think, 18 in the fourth quarter and cut it to 2 with the ball with about 50 seconds. And now the worst thing possible for me, Russell Westbrook had a turnover. So now all of this of them coming back, him and Norman Powell dragging the carcass back from the abyss doesn't matter because Russ had a turnover in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, Terrence Mann and Norman Powell had a great quarter.
But they had a good. Russ was, and Mason Plumlee. I don't know which Plumlee they had. He had a very good quarter. I don't know if the stats will show it, but he had a very good fourth quarter.
Stats don't provide context.
So, but the Clippers are out of here. Did we have any more? The Lakers. I'm very confident that the Lakers are going to win this series.
Memphis went from this darling at the beginning of the season to just the super villain.
The villain.
So much so that Skip Bayless is out here really rooting for LeBron James to pack them up.
That's how you know it's bad.
And Anthony coming in rigged. NBA's rigged.
22, 20, and 7 for LeBron James. 2 blocks. That man is I can't say the game tying basket with 0.8 to go. He got the charge on Ja. I mean, I don't know.
Which Ja is fucking stupid because this is the second time he has taken a charge like that because instead of just trying to be finesse and go around, he tries to dunk on people from that far out, giving them time to fucking take the charge. And he has gotten hurt twice on it.
And he would have got hurt on that if LeBron didn't catch him. He would have got hurt on that play. But luckily for him, LeBron kind of caught him as he was bracing as they were going down. LeBron just happened to catch him as they were going down. Or Ja could have got hurt again.
Can you believe these fucking losers at the beginning of the playoffs were saying, oh, we should reevaluate the charge rule because Giannis and Ja both got hurt on it?
Yeah, that's the most ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That is ridiculous.
How about hands up? Let's all think about this really quick. How about you don't be fucking dumb? The charge rule has never been a problem before, but all of a sudden Giannis hurt his back because he tried to, I don't know, dunk on a guy 5 feet away from the basketball hoop. Ja tried to out-athlete a guy who was drawing a charge. A legal basketball play.
You can't just jump over people. And if they take the charge away, I promise you guys at home, if they take the charge away, you think Dylan hates Giannis now? Oh, Giannis is he's unstoppable if there's no charge because he literally is just going to be pushing dudes out the way and dunking the ball.
They already do it. He already does that because they don't call it on him. He literally knocked Torrey Craig's tooth out, and Torrey Craig got called for a foul.
He fouled him.
With his face. Yeah. His face hit his elbow, foul on Torrey Craig. You can't be serious, Michael.
What's up? Golden State. Light the beam, James? Are we lighting the beam?
It's gonna be tough, man. It's the series tied now, and Golden State has a little bit of momentum, and De'Aaron Fox is injured, and we are trying to give credence in the fact that he has an injured, fractured middle tip of his finger
in his shooting hand.
Yeah. But we're trying to give credence to the fact, what did Ross say? Oh, this is Mamba.
Kobe-esque. It is great for him, but
cool. But it's just not smart.
You're compromised now.
It's just not smart.
I wish Roz wouldn't have said that because it was the tip of his finger.
Yes, the tip of his finger.
It's the tip of his finger. It's not a ligament in his hand or whatever. Fractured.
Finger.
It's the tip of his finger.
It's still.
It's still broken. It's still broken though, Dylan. It is definitely uncomfortable. I'm not gonna sit here.
And it's the tip of his finger. It's the tip of his middle finger, which is the last finger to touch the ball. When shooting. So that's gonna affect a lot of things. So I wouldn't put it past it really affecting his shot or his shooting touch. But Yeah, I just don't think it's smart to like force yourself to play injured. We've seen so many people try to do it and it not fare well for them. And we've seen a lot of people try to play injured and it becoming a worse thing for them. So, and it affecting the outcome of their team winning and stuff like that. So I just don't think that is smart to like force yourself to get out there and try to make something of it. But I mean, it's the playoffs, and this is their first time being here in 17 years. So
yeah,
I get it, but
there's always next year.
I don't really like that. Whoever wins this round has to face the Lakers. Not even for a fact that like they're bad matchups. It's more so like I really think the Lakers could beat at either of these teams, and then the Lakers are in the Western Conference Final.
I think the Lakers can beat Golden State. I know the Lakers can beat the Kings. I know that they can beat that team.
I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that they could beat them.
Golden State still scares me because
the whole Steph Curry LeBron thing.
Yeah, it's just arch nemesis. Just can't get rid of that guy.
But what a tale it would be for the legacy of LeBron James if he goes and he faces Golden State in a actual series and wins.
What if? So remember, Dylan, we was talking about Sacramento's potential greatest road to the finals: Lakers, Golden State, Suns. What about the Lakers though? If they get rid of Ja, and then they get rid of Steph, and then they get rid of KD and Book. I mean, if you're at that point, what are we saying about LeBron? Like,
he got to win. He got to win.
Yeah, I know. Because the funny thing is, he'll do all of that, which is unbelievable. Losing the finals,
38 years old,
to fucking Boston or Philly. Joel Embiid goes off, and Philly wins the chip. And LeBron will be, he just ain't clutch. He just can't do it. I don't understand.
But I'd be if there is a LeBron title to be won this year, I'm interested to see how the story flips for everybody. Because there's not a lot. There's not a lot you can say to that man.
They'll find it. Anthony will find it.
Anthony will find a way, but it's going to be. Roz said if LeBron wins another one, then he's the GOAT.
That's Roz's Laker fan I'm talking.
To be honest, you got in the. I agree with him where it's like he has the one record nobody's going to have anytime soon, and that's the all-time scoring leader. You put 5 rings on that.
And 11 finals appearances.
And what? Which will now be a 5th finals MVP probably. That's a rarefied air that literally nobody else has. 5 finals MVPs, the all-time scoring. You stop kissing my. I'll beat. She loves you, Mike.
It's my buddy right there.
Did I tell you what she did last time you were here?
No.
So last time you guys were here, she's just like, "Oh, hi, Mike. Hi, Mike." She's like, "Oh, I say hi to Mike. I say hi to Mike." I'm like, "Okay." Then Janice comes home after going to pick up her mom from work, and she goes, "Mommy, Mike's here." And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "Did you say hi to Mike?" And Janice is like, "Yeah, I said hi to Mike." She goes, "Come on, we're gonna go say hi to Mike."
I mean, me and Camille, we have. You guys don't know before our pods, because me and Dylan are the only ones that are ever on time. We have dinner together every week, and I see Camilla every week, and she says hi to me every week. So yes, we have a great relationship.
She escaped the bedroom while we were recording. She escaped. Janice is knocked out, so she just came over here and was like, "I don't want to go to sleep. I want to watch TV.
I'm up now."
She'd been up. She never was sleeping. Girl is my child. Right? Mm-hmm. You just picked that hand.
Dude, so yeah, that's basketball. The only thing that I have left is Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia.
Wow, I think I have the first I'm him prediction.
I missed that by 2 rounds.
I missed by 1. Dilstradamus lived shortly.
I said the 9th.
I said the 6th. And my favorite part of that fight was when Tank sat him on his fucking ass. He slipped with a clean left and just dropped Garcia on his fucking ass. There's levels to boxing, right? And Ryan Garcia clearly has only been fighting fucking losers. I'm not saying Tank's really fought anybody, but he's fought better opponents. Better competition.
Santa Cruz.
And then fucking Ryan Garcia. Granted, Ryan Garcia is what, 24, 25?
23.
Yeah. He'll be back.
It's a young pup.
That's a young dude. Like young pup. In the next 5 years, he'll probably pick up a great amount of skill in the sport.
And be ruling reign of terror.
Yeah, but until then, you need to get some experience, Instagram boy. These ain't play fights. You can't play fighting.
But no, you cannot play fight. And so yeah, Tank is him.
Do you guys give any light to the fact that he said that there was a mole in his camp? Speaking about
no. I
would love to, but in all actuality, the game plan was to get Ryan to throw the lead left hook. That was the game plan because he loves the lead left hook and he leaves his chin hanging. So Ryan was so just against throwing that thing the whole fight. He ate one counter on it. Was like, I'm not gonna throw that again.
Yeah, I
don't think you need a mole in the camp to know that this is a thing Ryan Garcia does. I don't really know what a mole does for Gervonta Davis camp
for boxing. Yeah,
it's not anything you can't pick up. The only thing I can think you pick up would be that liver shot's there. That's the only thing I think you could pick up just based off of Gervonta just being so much shorter than Ryan, being able to slip under, get inside, and just clean liver shot every time. Not even every time. That was a hell of a fucking shot too. I went back and got it because it was such a weird stoppage at first in real time, and then going back and looking at it, it's like, okay, now that was a clear shot. That was a clean shot, and it took a minute.
Yes.
I don't like the interview after by Ryan, where he was just like, yeah, nope, I'm not going to say anything else. I just couldn't breathe. That shit's silly.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you get punched in the stomach.
Ate it. He had to eat that shit, man. I'm just so happy that fucking dork lost. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
And I think isn't Loma versus Haney this weekend?
I think that's this weekend. That's gonna be a good fight too.
That should be a good fight. Did you see that Nate Diaz got arrested? And B, did you see the video?
I did. I yes to both. That's a nasty way to go out, Nate Diaz. Because he was at the
another boxing.
He was at the Misfits boxing event with DAZN, which is the crossover boxing with the what's the fuck called, the influencers, right? And he was there because he's supposed to be fighting Jake Paul on a DAZN card. So obviously DAZN's gonna fly him out everywhere and just have him
put him on TV. Yeah.
And he was starting problems all night with a bunch of different guys there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just turns out once he got to the streets,
once he got outside,
it was really we found the Logan Paul lookalike. I'm gonna put him in a fucking front face hold and knee him and then
drop him.
Watch that guy just fucking collapse onto the floor.
Hard.
It's a nasty look. I don't know if he's gonna be fighting Jake anymore.
That's what I've heard, because he's got a warrant and that dude said he's pressing charges. So that
I would absolutely press charges.
That's probably the end of that fight, because why, Nate? Like, but you know what it is, Dylan? When keeping it real goes
wrong. I was watching this YouTuber. His name is Your Bro Tevin. He does these drinking games, watch-alongs, and he did one for the Boondocks with the N-word moment. And if you're familiar with that episode, how stink, and one of the things is every time somebody said the N-word, you have to take a shot or take a sip of your drink. And if you remember Colonel Stinkmeaner,
yes,
in that episode was really good.
Yes. He was I can imagine he was pretty drunk.
They, I think, took 50 sips of their drinks because of that. And that is something I would love to dabble in with y'all.
That sounds like a good time.
Doing drinking games, watch-alongs.
Because,
you need to stop. You're doing too much.
She's having a great time. She's happy that Phoenix won. Devin Booker had 47 tonight. Right. Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes.
You want to talk? You're not talking. You said you wanted to talk.
I just said it.
You want to say something to the people at home?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Stage fright.
Oh, no.
All right, then stay quiet.
No.
Did she call you Aggie? I think she called you Aggie. That is no.
You want to talk now? Go ahead. Here you go.
I said no.
Then don't say you want to talk.
I said no. I said yes.
She said yes. She said yes, Dylan.
What did you do today, Camila?
I did dance class.
No, you didn't.
Oh, sorry.
You did dance class on Saturday.
Yeah.
She's got her dance recital coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh.
Jeannie's got me front row tickets. I'm one of the only people of color in that dance school.
Ooh, that's all right. Show out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to be sitting there screaming at the top of my lungs like I did last year. You need to stop.
They may have security waiting for you at the door. Escort you right on out of there.
Me and Jaden last year were saying, "Let's go, Camila! Let's go!" This year, you buy your seats in advance, so
they tried to fix you.
I'm front row. Can't tell me nothing. I may go out there with the full vuvuzela. Just make all the noise.
Just for no reason.
Just to be like, that's my girl.
That's my girl. My daughter.
My girl, right, Camila? Are you my girl?
No.
No, you're not.
No. No, I'm not.
Then what are you? Then what are you? Not helping the show. All right, goodbye, Camila.
No, I don't want to leave.
She wants to stay here till we wrap it up.
All right, you want to wrap up the show? Okay, let's give you your goodbyes.
Before you wrap it up, Camila, let's tell everybody to hit the like, share, and subscribe button.
Can you say like, share, and subscribe? Say like, share, subscribe.
No.
All right. You're not good for promo.
Hi, Camila.
Mila, say hi, James.
No.
You gonna say hi to Mike?
No.
Ooh, she gumpy.
Yeah, you've made her mad now.
I do that. I gaslight her.
Follow us on all the socials. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, we are on there. We are going to try and take this on because we have another podcast in like 15 hours. So
you enough.
That's the greatest right there. Hey, man.
She just said, no, I don't want to talk to that one.
Oh, James. Oh.
Sorry. Hey, y'all know what it is. It's Nick's tape. Tomorrow's the day that we send these boys home. We're going to try to. Shout out to all the listeners, all the viewers. We couldn't do this without you guys. It's been a long ride, but a good ride so far in this whole podcast realm. Shout out to my boy Josh, my man Liquid, always and forever. Shout out to Roz. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to the OG Triple B's chat. Shout out to my hopeful Knicks chat. Shout out to the PlayStation chat. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep riding this thing till the wheels fall off. And I can't wait for us to do some more live shows so we can have y'all in the chat asking some wild questions or making some wild comments. That's the best for me. I love when we are live and we're on YouTube and on Facebook and stuff like that because people could chime in and it's entertaining. I love it. It brings another element to the cast. So, but yeah, man, on that note, follow me on Twitter at Breezy5X, and you can follow me on Instagram at Breezy__ BILZ. And on that note, I'm out.
_podcast Poppy _ on all social media platforms. As I sit here and get yelled at by a fucking 3-year-old for not having the correct LOL surprise doll video on the TV that she's not watching. Appreciate all the listeners, all the people who come support, comment. Oh, too bad. That's too bad. Aaron Rodgers is jet. I'm still iffy. That is a mermaid. The Nets are out of the playoffs. Camila's throwing a fit. See y'all later.
Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. That's 10 straight playoff losses for the Brooklyn Nets franchise. We will
eat a dick
for post game live after the Knicks game. There's 4 games on tomorrow, so we got a lot of work to do tomorrow. Today, follow me on the socials. IAM_MBJ on all the socials. Shout out to the guys at the OTTR podcast. And yeah, just thank you for watching, listening. Yeah, that's really it. RIP to our man Josh. I attended his homegoing celebration this past weekend. And yeah, we're gonna, as was said at the funeral, we're gonna keep this thing pushing because that's what he would want. So join us. There we go. Join up. Dylan, you took
She
off.
wanted to go to Disney World. So I had this one stored away, so I'm in Disney World.
Well, you and Mickey have yourselves a great time. We will be back with you shortly. And with that, say good. Oh, we didn't get one of these off tonight. Let me just get one off.
Bing bong.
Shit like that. Everybody.